Hello everybody, GrayStillPlays, and we're back with more BeamNG.drive. Out here on the freeway, it's the perfect place for hatchling police cars to learn how to hunt. You guys wanted more RC-style police chases with a ton of the little bullet RC mosquito piranha electronic things versus these suspect vehicles. But we wanted something different. Today, we're only gonna put these guys up against the beefiest and the biggest vehicles, but we need to start with something to kind of like warm them up, you know what I mean? Like get their teeth, their maws wet. I've managed to get the RC cars even faster, by the way. About 25% faster than they were going before. How fast do they go? It's pretty sick. They're really fast, and it's actually kind of scary. When they hit vehicles head on, it basically destroys every aspect of the game. But for right now, we're gonna see how well they do against the bomb squad. Right over here, we have Lance Goodthrust. He's wanted for making pornographic background music without proper permits. You can see the little police cars trying desperately to get themselves stuck inside of his wheels almost took him down by making him ramp over the RC cars. The RC cars, I think they're gonna have a pretty tough time with a vehicle like this. What sort of odd poltergeistic thing is happening in front of them? They're gonna have a difficult time because of how much clearance there is on the bomb squad. Lance Goodthrust has a perfect vehicle for dealing with RC cars right there through the undercarriage like it's no big deal. Wow, the suspension on the bomb squad vehicle is really, really good. And for the most part, the baby RC cars simply get brushed away and are flipping like crazy in the background. Oh my, one went to the other side of the roadway. And the bomb squad vehicle gets away. Wait, what is this? What is this? We got one lone RC car. Nope, just kind of bounced up. I'm gonna give Lance one more shot just to see how he does. Another couple of RC cars digging deeply into the rear tires, but not enough to do too much. Completely maneuvered around the blue RC car as it was flipping insanely. What we might have to do is put one or two RC cars going the opposite direction so that they can run directly into the bomb squad vehicle. Now, like the little tornadoes that they can become, that may have enough damage to take this guy out. And we're off. The flex tape guy looking on in horror at what's about to unfold. Now, I have two more police vehicles coming from the front, and this should be like a giant swarm to take this thing out. You can see they're starting to maneuver inward. Let's see if we can catch them just as they sink their fangs into the front. There it is. There's the very first explosive hit. But again, look at how well. I cannot believe how well the suspension takes those kind of hits. I think realistically, it's just this hopper. This hopper is just basically invincible when it comes to taking the type of hits that other cars would fold and buckle under. One last shot. This is one of the guys that's coming into him. So we'll see if it hits him straight out. Now they go very, very fast to the point where they kind of start to drift like this. Uh-oh. It looks like it sort of got knocked off to the side. We're gonna have a big miss here because it was way off center when the other RC cars started to do their thing. You can see right over here, the orange one's gonna go flying into the nether realm. And then one over here from the silver guy clips underneath the wheel well, but no, the bomb squad vehicle completely invincible. So we need something a little bit lower to the ground, but that still has a lot of speed and bulk. I think this one here is gonna be absolutely perfect. Up next, we've got my Wang. He's wanted for constantly leaving only 2 sheets of toilet paper in the company bathroom. Wow, everyone just went flying. Right over here, they get almost underneath the rear end of the vehicle, and that is a full spin out. That full spin out could spell disaster if the RC cars in the distance can somehow go. My Wang was stuck and the RC car knocked him right out of his loop. Oh, it's still stuck. I don't really know what my Wang is doing. I don't really know what all the RC cars are doing either. They're very young, so they probably play a lot. You're gonna see over here this one attempting to potentially take a tire out from the car. There we go. That should knock him loose. Maybe that'll knock some sense into him. Nope. Still just wants to hang around and be a punching bag. I guess this means that the RC cars got the takedown. It's just really odd. It just really wants to get a hold of this this barrier here. I don't know what it is. Almost like a chew toy or something. All right, real quick, we're gonna see if my Wang can do better this time. I bumped up his speed a little bit, so the RC cars are going to find it a little bit more difficult to keep up over here. Actually, you can see right now, they are really finding it difficult to keep up, but they're starting to get there. Ricocheted right off the back end. Whoa, right past the first RC car, right past the second RC car. Got a little bit of, by a little bit, I mean one of them bit his bumper straight off the car of damage, and the pink one pings away a little bit right there at the... Our suspect car just found my pace car and is now having a RC car attempt to surgically remove his exhaust pipes. And surgically remove the exhaust pipes, it just about did. Right over here, though, the tiny RC police were not able to stop this dastardly fellow before he destroyed the two sad, twitching, oddly commingling and vibrating dummies that are sitting inside of this convertible. I've decided to add even more RC police cars. There is a literal I think there's 9 now on this road. 9 RC police cars going after our suspect vehicle. I don't know how well they're gonna do because it's possible. I was gonna say it's possible. Oh no. Oh Lord in heaven, here we go. That right there is like a nuclear bomb going off. Ooh. Sorry, orange RC car. A body or a fender or something just landed in the distance from my Wang's vehicle. And for the first time, I think that... You gotta be kidding me. How is this possible? How is this vehicle still driving? How can this be? Take him down. Yeah, get him, boys. Yeah, get him. Pull the door open. Yank him out of the car. Yank him out of the car. Look, it was trying to open the door. Oh, the RC cars are so cute. All right, we're going to give this one to Team RC because now there is no less than 2 RC cars yanking the door open, and for sure, my Wang would be pulled out and systematically beaten within an inch of his life by the BeamNG police force. Just because I'm curious what would happen, I added one more suspect vehicle. I just want to know what would occur when these sad RC cars end up ripping a hole through the front of one of the suspects. Now, the first suspect appears to be sort of penetrating the secondary suspect, and cars are flying. There is another... Oh, the car's on fire. I don't know what happened, but somehow the car is on fire. There is a secondary RC car up ahead. Our original Wang is the only one that's going to escape right here. You can see the other vehicle on fire, flipping, turning, and otherwise completely being as destructive as possible. And my Wang gets the gold. He gets the opportunity to smash the 2 dummies that were on a date together on a beautiful Saturday afternoon, straight into the side of a concrete wall, instantaneously killing them both. But not before a few RC cars may end up trying to smash into them over here. Let's take a look if they're... Ooh. I was gonna say, let's take a look if they're on point for their beating it. Oh, something just went flying in the background. They all missed, basically. You guys wanted to know whether or not the RC police could take down a big rig. Probably not, but we're gonna give it a shot anyway. Right over here, we have Irene Longbottom. She's wanted for parking in the 30-minute parking area for longer than 30 minutes. Now again, you're gonna see so many RC cars try and lodge themselves under these tires. There's no way, like, even if they all lodge themselves, they're just not gonna be able to stop this thing. Now we're gonna have several of them. Look at this thing twitch. We're gonna have several that slam into the undercarriage. Look at that right there. It's possible they could take out a tire, but it doesn't really appear to be happening. Let's move over here into a more cinematic view so that you can watch what it's like to desperately attempt to stop a big rig as like a 14-pound RC car. Moving onward, more and more RC cars pile into the undercarriage. There's now something like 4 of them under there. They're kind of stopping it. Look at the tires. They're struggling. There's so many poor, defeated, broken hatchling. No. Look at this. They did it. Hold on. Everything stops right now. They stopped a full-sized big rig by throwing their bodies into its wheel well over and over and over again. It's kind of horrifying to look at. Like it is actually a little traumatizing. But now come on, let's get some applause in the comment section for the RC police. I never thought they would pull this off. I need to see if they can go 2 for 2. Here's our RC menaces, kind of entwining themselves with one another. Several of them already knocked out of the race. We do have a few more that are going to get the opportunity to slam into the big rig at full speed. This one over here, drifting like a pro. And right about here is where the horror begins. You can see smashing through the front bumper, underneath the tire, wrapping itself deeply inside of the step area. And are we gonna get a full out stop? Can we get a full out stop over here? I don't know. It's gonna be tough. It's slowing down. It's broken in time. Whoa! It's got both tires. You've got bodies now under all the tires, and once more the big rig is stopped. So can a big rig get stopped by these RC things? Yes, they can. Let's try something more horrifying. We're doing it. It's the drag racing beam bus. That's right. Can the RC Death Squad take down a drag racing transport bus? Right over here, we have Colin Payne. He's wanted for taking 400 packets from McDonald's in order to use them at home. Running down the side. Now, these RC cars are going to have a lot of difficulty trying to take this thing down, because while they were able to take down a big rig, this thing just seems to have so much more, like, power because of the drag engine. Now, right over here, that's a good shot to the undercarriage, but it doesn't look like it did too much. We do have at least two other RC cars in the front. Second one takes a huge chunk out of the front bumper. Still doesn't seem like it's stopping. We've got a third RC car. Rip those tires out. There we go. Shoving his way underneath the beam bus bumper. The beam bus starting to struggle. You can see the tires. Very sad. White smoke pouring out the rear end. Another one latches onto the tail, but all the wheelie bars just went flying off almost. It's trying to take the wheelie bars off the beam bus, but the beam bus is still able to make it to my pace car and thus has not been taken down before the game crashes for some reason. I'm gonna give him another shot. The wheelie bars protect the rear end. Oh, they just knocked open the chamber over there where the engine is. Now, depending on how well the RC cars in the front are doing, and they appear to be doing pretty good, we're gonna see several impacts. And it's just a matter of whether or not they can rip tires out. Now, I think we may have blown a rear tire over there. Oh, we just blew up the game. That's what we just blew up. Never mind, the game is back in. The beam bus flying through the air. The back end, all that metal. Oh, look at what happened to the side of the beam bus. The beam bus got wrecked on the side, but it's still driving somehow. This thing's invincible. There's only one thing that I can think of that we may be able to do to stop this behemoth. Okay, I've put almost all of the RC cars coming straight toward the beam bus. However, in order to fight, the beam bus gets rockets. Rocket-powered beam bus versus the RC patrol. Who's gonna win? Oh no, this is gonna be horrid. All right, we gotta slow things way down for this. Otherwise, the physics is probably not going to enjoy it. Look at it just strip the underside out. We now have two cars deep underneath, and there's plenty more RC cars where those came from. The rockets are trying to make the beam bus just about take off. Over here, we're going to have another RC car coming in right there, starting to open up Pandora's box. The sun beginning to meld its way to the beam bus, and there we go. I'm doing it one more time because it's amazing and I love it. Yep, I have to slow it down a lot. All right, we can make this work. We just have to watch our impacts very, very closely. The first impact underneath the beam bus. You could see it rip the bumper completely off. A vehicle catching the beam bus on fire. I had to reset it because we had another just atrocious crash. We're causing so many calculations and so much destruction that it is not loving life right now. I don't even know what was on fire. This car gets flattened. Yeah, you can see right there. That's where the initial flames are coming from. I think it's the engine. I think they destroyed the engine, but the jet-assisted takeoff rockets are still working. So there is another RC car pulling a back panel off, but the beam bus still going forth. Now we've got a few other, oh, you know what? They may have taken down the jets completely because I think that the jets are no longer functioning. Okay, this thing's still really fast. I was mistaken thinking that the jets were the only thing propelling this. Uh-oh. It made its way through my blockade. It made its way through the RC police, and it gets past the pace car. In the end, this is the damage that was done by the RC police. They twisted the entire frame. We've got all kinds of paneling that's been peeled off the back. But somehow, the beam bus managed to make it all the way over. Anyway, folks, hope you enjoyed this episode of BeamNG.drive, where we got to see a huge amount of RC police up against some of the biggest, beefiest vehicles. Let us break the game just one more time as we rip chunks out of ludicrous speed. I told you, they're like little piranhas. Hold on here. Let's see if there's gonna be any more damage. Let's see if flex tape will be able to repair this at all. Oh no! Dark Helmet's mom's gonna feel that one. I think that we're just about at the end. Oh, yep, there we go. Until the next time, folks. Stay foxy and much love.